Right now at 6, a desperate search for a missing cyclist.
It is rocky, it is steep, there's very dense vegetation around here.
They've found his car, cell phone, but no sign of him.
Plus, the man accused of torching his own apartment building goes before a judge.
If I hadn't heard the neighbor yelling fire, we would have woken up.
As we hear from a survivor who lost everything.
We've got a weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday, with Wednesday being the hottest day. We'll let you know how warm it's going to stay overnight and how much cooling we get at the end of the week.
Then later in sports, things are also heating up. Portland's WNBA team drops a major hint about its name. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Mulco. First at 6, we're learning new details from fire investigators about the man accused of torching his East Portland apartment building. The Friday morning inferno forced some residents to jump from their windows in order to escape. And this evening, court documents indicate the suspect may have used gasoline to start it.
Let's get right to our Devin Haskins downtown, where the man appeared in court. Devin, you also spoke with a woman, one of a dozen people we should mention, who lost her home.
Yeah, we talked with a mom who was asleep in her apartment with her 5-year-old son when the fire started. They lost everything. She says they're now trying to put their lives back together.
On Friday morning, just before 6 a.m., a massive fire ignites a 3-story apartment complex on East Burnside.
It was so scary.
Carolyn Reyes woke to the faint smell of smoke and someone yelling fire. She grabbed her 5-year-old son and tried to escape through the front door.
I opened the door and it was all flames. So I closed the door and thought for a second. I was like, okay, plan B. We're going to go to the farthest bedroom and hopefully firefighters will arrive.
She broke out a screen window, told her son to lean out for air. Smoke was already billowing through the crack under the door.
I was already contemplating tying my clothes together to lower my child down, and then I was going to jump.
Firefighters rescued both of them. The man accused of starting that fire, 40-year-old Sean Swartz, was arrested Friday night. He's charged with 6 counts of first-degree arson and other crimes. Investigators say Swartz used gasoline to start a fire in his first-floor unit. More than a dozen people lost their homes, including Reyes.
I think the biggest one is probably anger because, first of all, like us 5 families in the front, we all could have died, and my son and I were so close to dying.
The damage, leaving her without a home or a car, and her son with emotional scars.
He's physically okay. Emotionally, he's going around telling everybody that he almost died.
Portland fire investigators detained Swartz earlier in the day, questioned him, but then released him, arresting him just a couple of hours later. Portland Fire also says one of the victims that jumped out of the windows to escape the flames is still in the hospital. Back to you.
Yeah, you can certainly understand the anger there. Devin Haskins downtown. Thanks, Devin.
Okay, taking a live look outside right now from our Rose City Sky Cam. Sun, shiny kind of day, 77 degrees in downtown right now. Warm out there, but gosh, the heat advisory kicks in starting tomorrow.
And that has triggered a weather impact alert. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino is here. So, Matt, what should folks be doing to get ready for this?
Start thinking about how you want to prepare for the hottest time of the day tomorrow, and especially on Wednesday. Be able to take it easy, be able to escape the heat, find some air conditioning one way or another. So again, we've got a weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday, but Wednesday is really going to be the hot one. Excessively hot will make the upper 90s, so there's a high heat risk. Anybody susceptible to heat-related injuries or problems, Wednesday's the day where you might have to deal with that. So try not to overexert during the hottest part of the day, which of course is in the afternoon. Of course, stay hydrated, make sure your plants and your pets are okay, and stay cool. And of course, as always, keep an eye on the elderly in your world. Make sure they have access to adequate cooling. So heat advisory begins at noon tomorrow for the Valley, Clark County, and out through the gorge. Fire weather warning in other parts of Washington and the Columbia Basin. This continues until Wednesday night when we'll finally begin to cool off. And that, of course, means it's going to be really warm Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Now, the record tomorrow is 103. That'll be intact. The record for Wednesday, 104. We won't get that hot. I don't think we'll get over 100 degrees. The record for for Tuesday's low temperature is 70. Now that one we'll need to keep an eye on. Right now I think we'll dip below that and not break that record. Here's the hour-by-hour temperature forecast for Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. You see we dip down to about 67, then begin to climb. But again, that's a warm overnight low for Portland, 67. So it will be one of our warmer nights of the year. The warmest day of the year so far is back on the 8th of June. We'll get some cooling at the end of the week as things settle down and go back to much more pleasant summer weather, kind of like today, guys.
Yeah, have to start planning now to stay cool. Thank you so much, Matt.
All right, let's talk about new wildfires now, starting in Jefferson County, where the Cram fire, it's burning northeast of Madras, has mushroomed to 10,000 acres in less than 24 hours. It's now forcing more evacuations.
Yeah, the flames were discovered around 5:30 Sunday night. Right now, there are level 3 evacuations in Jefferson County and near the border with Wasco County. This is a look at the evacuation map. You can see the red zone there is where a level 3 go now order is in place. That level 3 evacuation order includes the area east of Highway 97 and south of Highway 293. A temporary shelter is open right now at Jefferson County Middle School. Meantime, FEMA has freed up federal money to help fight the Highland fire burning near Prineville in Crook County. It's burned over 700 acres and is just 5% contained. Crews say they are making good progress, though. There have been no reports of any structures lost, but evacuation orders do remain in place. The governor has officially authorized officials to bring in more resources for both this fire and the Cram fire. That's happened 6 times so far this season.
A lot to keep an eye on. Well, developing this evening, hundreds of search and rescue crews in the Mount Hood National Forest are looking for a mountain biker from Gresham who failed to return home on Friday night.
Investigators say the 52-year-old is an experienced cyclist and knows the area. He was last seen near Trillium Lake Friday morning. Joe Ranieri brings us up to speed on the search.
This is the area where Clackamas County Sheriff's Office have been setting up their command post basically for the last 3 days. Since early Saturday morning, they've been out here not far from Government Camp, hoping to locate 52-year-old Ralph Sawyer, who was last spotted on Friday morning. Dozens of search and rescue crews have been on ATVs and on foot to try to locate 52-year-old Ralph Sawyer. He was reported missing on Friday night after he didn't return from a bike trip.
We're lucky that we're not dealing with any freezing temperatures overnight, which we can sometimes do in this area.
The conditions have been on search and rescue crews' side over the last couple of days, but it's the area in the Mount Hood National Forest that has been challenging.
It is rocky, it is steep, there's very dense vegetation around here. So just getting out into this area and trying to focus on areas where Mr. Sawyer could possibly be is really probably the biggest challenge.
Brian McCall with the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says he was on a specialized bike and is familiar with this area.
We understand Mr. Sawyer was on a bike specially built for gravel roads, so he did have good equipment and good gear to get around on those kinds of roads.
Over the weekend, his car was found along East Still Creek Road, a camping area near Trillium Lake. His phone was still inside his car. Earlier today, I spoke with some of Sawyer's family and friends off camera who told me they were going to continue with their search as long as the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is coming up here. And at last check, I did speak with a spokesperson with the Sheriff's Office who told me they plan on coming out here tomorrow. Near Government Camp, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
In tonight's headlines, a former vice principal has just been arrested and indicted on 4 counts of sex abuse. Christopher Siebert is accused of abusing a minor while he was working at Regis St. Mary's, that's located in Staten, between 2022 and 2023. He went on to work at St. Joseph Catholic School in Salem. Investigators are asking anyone with information on Siebert to call Staten Police.
The man charged with shooting and killing another man across from the Central Library in downtown Portland has now pleaded not guilty. 26-year-old Hassan Muse is accused of killing 50-year-old Douglas Ivers. Ivers later died in the hospital. Muse faces charges that include murder, unlawful use of a weapon, and aggravated harassment. He is due back in court next month.
Portland police have arrested the man they believe is responsible for a deadly stabbing in southeast Portland. Officers arrested 28-year-old Juan Jose Olguin for second-degree murder and unlawful use of a weapon. The stabbing happened just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon inside a home near Southeast 114th and Boise Street. That's where police found a man dead. Detectives are still gathering information and are asking anyone who knows something to come forward.
The suspect, who authorities say stole an excavator to smash his way into a drive-through ATM in Clackamas, has now gone before a judge. Matthew Armour is charged with aggravated theft, conspiracy, and several other charges in connection with a crime at a U.S. bank last month on Sunnyside Road. He is now in jail on $60,000 bail. The second suspect also faces charges.
And Oregon and Washington have joined a lawsuit suing the federal government and demanding the release of $7 billion in education funding. The states argue the government is illegally withholding money that's meant for K-12 and adult education programs, and say the funding freeze is already hurting students and schools across the Northwest. They say Oregon stands to lose $73 million in federal dollars due to grant cuts. It's money that would have funded after-school summer programs and English language instruction.